Welcome back. The just energy transition has been a hot topic at the mining indaba, with mining players looking to take advantage of the growing demand for critical metals, which are found mainly on the African continent. And joining me now as we look at how these metals can contribute to the local energy transition is the CEO of Siemens Sub-Saharan Africa, Sabine Dall'Omo. Thank you so much for your time, Sabine. Now, mining is very energy intensive. How much of a priority is green energy in the mining sector, but also how much of a push has load shedding had on that process?
Yeah, well, thanks for the question and thanks for having me. Yeah, look, in the green energy transition, maybe we go to that one first. I think the push is very real and of an absolute need, because you need to remember most of the materials are traded on the international market. They do have, as companies as well, commitments to climate neutrality. They have pledges made to various organizations, and shareholders and stakeholders want to see that these companies are decarbonizing. And so from an investment point of view, it is absolutely vital for them to show that they work on that KPI to have a CO2 neutral, or as much as possible neutral, production. When we look at South Africa, and here specifically since the president has waived the megawatt cap in August 2022, we see that an enormous amount of projects are coming through, because it does give the mine the independency they require during, for instance, load shedding times. Yeah. But, you know, just with renewable energy alone, it is also difficult to run an operation where you need 24/7 power if you have people, for instance, underground, right? Yeah. So looking at alternatives, specifically like hydrogen, which was also one topic here, is vital to give the base load in case solar and wind is not available.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, also with mining, there are also a lot of costs involved. So when you are looking at, you know, the energy that you get, you also need the most cost effective way. And there have been lots of debates on which renewable energy mixes should be used and whether there is room for nuclear power. So since mining is so energy intensive, what is the most effective and financially efficient energy mix for that industry?
Yeah, look, I mean, if obviously in the platinum environment where you do have hydrogen available, if you can use that technology in the future, it would have been a byproduct, so you would have a cost-effective baseload. We do know that PV is the most effective and cheapest solution at this point in time, if it doesn't include battery storage. And so I think a mix out of renewables and some form of, well, hydrogen, or until we get there, gas or diesel, will be the way on how mines would be able to operate if they are not connected to the grid.
Let's talk nuclear. How much nuclear energy does South Africa have and use, and could it be used in mining?
Well, I mean, it's effectively used in mining for these ones which are connected to the grid. So they would get from Eskom if Kuwait is running, or Kuwait produces into the grid, they will get electricity from that source. But it's theoretically a possibility, because you see there are a lot of new developments in the nuclear field, specifically for small reactors which don't run anymore on water. And here you have a possibility that that might be an investment case, but obviously it is depending also on cost and permit requirements.
Yeah. Do we have the capability for more nuclear energy than we already have?
Well, I think in South Africa, we do have the set out. So we have the regulators, we have the agencies, and we have the technology. So we have for decades proven that we are able to run such kind of technology, and there are capable people in country which can support with it. So there is a possibility that it could be a solution.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the opportunities that the South African mining industry has with critical metals. I mean, how much muscle does the South African mining sector have in that arena?
Well, I think that they do have quite a word to say, because, I mean, they have a significant amount of number on employees. So, and obviously South Africa, with the higher unemployment rate we have currently, we don't want to have anybody else being at risk. And I think just by the power of the employment they create, but also by the power of the taxes and contributions they have to society, I do believe they have a significant voice, and we see it here.
All right. And I mean, just as we wrap up the conversation, how should government help in maximizing that opportunity for critical metals?
Well, look, I mean, for us in South Africa, I do believe it's absolutely vital that there's a strong partnership between public and private, because at the end of the day, you know, if you work in a community, there are public services which are also essential for your operation. And that kind of collaboration where your operation potentially can contribute to the community, these are the win-wins which we see. And I do believe that kind of collaboration is absolutely vital in order also to avoid that you have a deadlock in certain developments, like, for instance, water or so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and giving us insights on that, Sabine. Really appreciate the time. That was CEO of Siemens Sub-Saharan Africa, Sabine Dall'Omo.